Hello, everybody. Good things going. Hope you guys had a productive day today, Monday. I know a lot of you are preparing for a short week for Thanksgiving holiday coming this Thursday. To me, it's just Thursday, so I will be grinding as usual. Good evening. Denise George is in the building, y'all. Hope you guys are ready to get fired up this evening. We getting ready to take things to another level. Hope you guys are ready. Want to thank you guys for joining in this evening. Let's see what we got here. You go to your room. My dog want to come in here and be nosy. So you guys ready to get started? All right, here we go. If it's going to be, it's up to me to fulfill my dreams and possibilities with dedication and motivation to inspire thousands from all nations. When times are tough and breaks you down, just smile with toughness and rebuild from the ground. During tough times, adversity is a lot. Just remember, time flies, but you are the pilot. Good evening to Diane Rozier. Thank you for coming in. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The day is Monday, November the 20th, 2017. This is our Monday Motivational Power Talk. Want to thank you for joining us this evening. Want to make a couple of quick announcements, quick favors actually. Visit two websites, Facebook sites, two Facebook sites, Jay Lee Speaks and WAN Global LLC, WAN Global LLC. Visit those two pages and like those pages because a lot of content is getting ready to start shooting out from those pages. With Jay Lee Speaks, you can go to also my website, jayleespeaks.com. Subscribe to our emails and newsletters. Those will be coming out very soon as well. We're getting ready to try to get this thing launched with the Tampa Bay Wealth Summit coming in hopefully in January. It looks like we can be doing it in January. And we're going to be kicking off our Wealth Summit tour. So we're going to Atlanta, Washington, D.C., Charlotte as well. And then we're going to be going to Orlando, San Diego, West Palm Beach, Chicago, that is, Chicago, New York, Philadelphia. Guys, we getting ready to hit it. We're going to be hitting Texas. We're going to be hitting down in Dallas, Houston. We're getting ready to tear the world apart. We're going to be going over to Amsterdam in the UK, also over in Australia, to Perth, Australia. We getting ready to get it going, folks. Hope you guys are ready. So listen, folks, this evening, so like those two pages, folks, we're going to be getting some information. You'll be getting information on all of this stuff very, very soon. Okay. So I want to talk this evening about don't be obsolete. And the reason what led me to talk about that topic is because, one, that's a topic in my book, Change Your Mind, Change Your Life, which is going through a phase of republishing. Okay, it's going to be republished, and this time it's going to hit the bestsellers list. Watch what I tell you. So, but what I'm going to speak about in terms of don't be obsolete, you may or may not find that in my book. So you're going to have to wait to get the book. So I'm not going to tell you it's in there. I'm not going to tell you that it's not in there. All right. So, but I want to talk about don't be obsolete. And the reason what prompted me to really talk about that is last couple of days I've been talking about separating yourself from the masses by elevating your game. And this morning I talked about burning your bridge. Burn the bridge. When people say don't burn your bridges, listen, please do, because you don't want to go back to where you didn't like anyway. You didn't like the job, you didn't like the relationship, you didn't like the household, you didn't like whatever it is you didn't like. Don't provide a safety net back there to where you didn't want to go. Don't burn down the damn bridge so that you can't go back there. All right. So now the thing, folks, is if you're looking at the masses, if you're looking at the job market today, if you're looking at companies today, I mentioned in my book, here I am telling you what's in there, but I did mention this in my book, that if you're working for a company that becomes obsolete, that means you're obsolete because you're part of the production of the company that make that company become obsolete. It might not be it might not be you that made it happen, but you were involved in the production in order for that to happen. Okay, meaning you didn't get laid off, but you are part of the production that caused that company to be obsolete. So if a company you work for is becoming obsolete, that means you're becoming obsolete. You have to keep elevating your game, folks. You got to make yourself an individual profit center. An individual profit center. Remember some time ago I said you are the author of your life. You are, not the CEO, not your parents, not your pastor, not your boss. You right? You are. Totally. Not even your mentor, not even your life coach. You are the author of your life, right? So this new economy calls for continuous learning, folks. You have to continually read books on things that you want to be great at. And then you have to read some books that's going to be in general to your personal growth anyway, such as Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Who Moved My Cheese, my book even. Change Your Mind, Change Your Life, 177 Mental Toughness Secrets of the World Class. Then you have The Millionaire Next Door. Then you also have Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. You know, you have 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Then you have 5 Levels of Leadership. You have Put Your Dreams to the Test. You have Failing Forward. Folks, I can just keep naming books. You know, Fight for Your Dreams. You can also read A Setback is a Setup for a Comeback. You can also read Turning Setbacks into Greenbacks. Folks, I can just name, these are books I'm just naming on top of my head, books I've read, and I keep reading them. I go back and reference them. You know, a lot of those books I left up in DC in storage, and all of a sudden when I was homeless, I couldn't pay for it. I lost them books again, so I'm in the process of ordering and getting all these books, rebuilding my library again. But I memorized all of that stuff that I read in all those books. I got them all in my head. I can tell you stuff that I learned from and tell you which book I read it out of. And that's because I don't just read them, I study them. And I take things that's important to me out of those books and I apply them to my life. Why? Because I do not want to become obsolete. I want to stay ahead of the curve. You got to stay ahead of the curve, folks. If you are on time, you're late. You got to stay ahead of the curve. This is how the 3% of the population has figured the game out. And the 97% all works for the 3%. And that 3% is including people in your government. You see what I'm saying? So you don't want to be obsolete. Diane Rosier asks how to make FU money. Just keep working hard, Diane. Just keep working hard. Keep building your empire. Keep providing for your community, for your family, and your money. The money will follow. It's not about making the money. It's about building the value so that the money will chase you. So as you build the value, the money will come to you. Just keep being who you are and keep growing from where you are, and the money will grow with you. Money can't grow unless you grow. So as your money grows, my dog keep trying to pee. Oh, yes. How to make, that book, I forgot who wrote that book, but I'm going to tell you a person who always say that, FU money, Grant Cardone. He's a mogul in sales. You guys can follow him, Grant Cardone. He has phenomenal knowledge in sales and real estate. So he always talk about FU money. So folks, you don't want to become obsolete. This economy calls for continuous learning. And let me tell you something. Most people are not reading, folks. I'm going to tell you, if you're not growing, you're dying. That's why the middle class will become the new poor, and the poor will die, because you got to keep growing. If you're not growing, folks, you're dying, mentally and physically. So you got to keep growing, and you grow physically because you face the resistance. But you're prepared for the resistance and the challenges and the hurdles and adversity. You're prepared for those because you've been reading, See, reading sharpens the mind, folks. It's not reading, it's not the reading that makes you stronger. Now, knowledge don't make you stronger. You see, they say knowledge is power. No, that's not correct. Knowledge is not power until you apply the knowledge. You see, you got to build your mindset. You got to change. You need a mindset transformation. Build your mindset. Get sharper in the mind, because that is what you're going to need in order for you to face the hurdles and adversity. That's the resistance that you're going to face when you step out there into the marketplace. Now, why is that important? Dr. Dennis Kimbrough talked about the word capitalism. We're in a capitalist society right now. He broke down the Latin derivative of capitalism, which is caput. C-A-P-U-T. Caput. Broken down from the word capitalism is caput. What does caput means in the Latin language? It means head. So in order for you to do well in a capitalist society, you must use your head. You guys see you see where that all falls into place now? That's what keeps you from being obsolete. You got to keep studying your craft. You got to keep reading. You got to stay in touch with your mentors. You know how many people told me they're mentors? I don't even hear from them. You got to stay in touch with your mentors. You got to keep asking your mentors questions, folks. Because guess what? I call my mentors. I get in touch with James Arthur Ray. I get in touch with Dr. Willie Jolly. I get in touch with Les Brown. I pick their brain. And see, when you call someone your mentor, you got to prove to them that you're willing to be a mentee. You just don't call them your mentor on social media. Or just say, oh, yeah, this is my mentor. Look at this video. No. Let me tell you something. A true mentee keeps in touch with the mentor. The mentor don't reach out to the mentee. You guys know that, right? The mentor do not reach out to the mentee. It's the mentee that's looking for something. When you're looking for something, you have to go fetch it. You have to go get it. Sometimes the boat don't dock. You have to swim to it, folks. Remember I told you about the young warrior who wanted to know the secret of success? And he was pointed to go to see an old sage. In order for him to know the secret, he had to go visit the old sage. So he approached the old sage, right? Asked the old sage, what is the secret to success? So the old sage showed him. Instead of telling him, he showed him, walked him out into the water, right by the house, walked him out into the water, neck deep, and put his head underwater. And held it there. And when the old sage let the warrior back up out the water, he asked the young warrior, young man, what is it that you wanted the most when you were underwater? The young man said, you old fool, I wanted to breathe. So the old sage says, when you want success as bad as you wanted to breathe, then you found the secret to success. So the young warrior wouldn't have known that. He wouldn't have received the secret to success if he wouldn't have reached out to the old sage. So if you're calling someone your mentor, you got to stay in touch with your mentor, folks. Don't be scared of the fact that your mentor is going to challenge you, because the challenge is what makes you stronger. The challenge is what's going to make you grow. That's how you grow. Come on, folks. Everything has a gestation period. What is a gestation period? What goes on during gestation? Gestation is one of the natural laws of the universe. One of the 7 natural laws of the universe is the law of gestation. What does it state? That everything will manifest when it's ready to be manifested. So in other words, you have to grow during the gestation period. Otherwise, gestation don't even exist for you because you're not growing. As a matter of fact, gestation is taking place anyway, but you got to grow. If you're not growing, guess what happens? You get bitten in the ass. Because you're not growing, you're not moving forward, you're not escalating yourself, you're not feeding your mind. You're not feeding your mind. So if you're calling yourself having a mentor, you want to be a mentee, then be a mentee. Go reach out. It's not like school. When we in grade school, we had to go to the teacher. It ain't like that. You're grown now. Do what you want to do. So if you want to say you have a mentor, then reach out to your mentor. I'm just saying. So in order for you to grow, folks, you got to read. If you're not reading, you're not studying your craft, you're not following people that's going to help you grow, you will become obsolete. And that's the topic of tonight. Don't be obsolete. I will listen to Nito Cobain. Nito Cobain is a mentor to my mentor, Dr. Willie Jolly. Dr. Willie Jolly, who is my mentor, his mentor is Dr. Nito Cobain, who's the president of High Point University. Came here many years ago, could not speak English, worth millions right now. No, he said, if you want to be rich, this is what he said. If you want to be rich, then find out what poor people do and don't do it. What are the poor people doing? They're not reading. They're not studying. I'm not talking about poor by circumstance. I'm talking about poor in terms of the acronym poor, passing over opportunities repeatedly. Poor. And that will lead you to a circumstance of poor. And then poverty. Because remember, poverty is catching us. As everything moves, so is poverty. Poverty is moving. So if you're sitting idle, poverty will catch you. So you got to keep reading. You got to keep studying your craft. You got to keep listening to the mentors. You got to choose mentors. You got to find a coach. You got to find somebody who is influential in your life. Make them your mentor. Someone who's doing great in areas you want to be great in. Make them your mentor. Even if you can't make them your mentor, find the YouTube videos and watch the YouTube videos. I watch Brian Tracy faithfully, James Arthur Ray, Les. Folks, I'm in touch with these people. I made it so that I can have these guys' phone numbers. I can reach out to each and every one of my mentors. Can you? Are you constantly in touch with your mentors? Are you constantly in touch with teachers? Are you your teachers that made an impact in your life, even from school? The ones that really, I'm talking about the ones that really was teaching. I'm not talking about those who just got a paycheck. I'm talking about the teachers that challenged you, that made sure that you were going to be the best that you can be. Are you constantly in touch with them? Those are mentors to you, folks. A mentor is a person that challenges you. A mentor is not a person to tell you everything will be fine. Hell no, everything ain't going to be fine until you make it fine. That is your obligation. That is your job, is to make your life fine. Why? Because you are the author of your life. Regardless of what anybody says about you, regardless of what anybody believes about you, you got to have belief. You got to believe in yourself when no one else will. Otherwise, you will be obsolete. You see, people are going to talk about you as if you are obsolete. But the only way that they can be right is that you agree with them. Don't be obsolete. Do what you got to do to take your life to the next level, people. Take your life to the next level. Take your business to the next level. Because guess what? Your business will not grow unless you grow. Your relationship will not grow unless you grow. Relationship, yeah. Because guess what happens? If that relationship don't grow even when you're growing, guess what? You're going to find yourself growing somewhere else. That's just the bottom line. That's just the nature of how the universe works. I ain't make that up. Don't get mad at JD. That's the universe. Go talk to the universe about it. So your job, the same way. You can outgrow your job. You can outgrow your environment. But you got to be focused. You got to do what you got to do to outgrow the environment. And the only way you can do that is not to be obsolete, folks. Don't be obsolete. I put a quote out there earlier today. I didn't get a lot of attention on it because I know a lot of people probably not feeling it. But guess what it said? It said, if average people don't think you're weird, it's because you're average. If average people don't think you're weird, it's because you're average. Don't be average. And to be average is to be obsolete. because the average will become obsolete, folks. Think about these businesses that was its average business. J.C. Penney, Sears, Macy's, all these companies in trouble. Remember Sports Authority? Remember Sports Authority, folks? Already out of business. It's a big old empty Sports Authority store right up the street, around the corner from my house. They don't even know what to do with it. Just a big empty building that says Sports Authority on the side. Hurricane Irma came and blew the sign sideways. It's just a big building sitting there. And they still got the lights on, so somebody's still paying for the power in that building. Big old Sports Authority. Out of business. Average. Because they have a CEO who had an average mindset. You can't be average, folks. You cannot be a successful entrepreneur with an employee's mindset. You got to keep learning. You have to keep growing. My mentor, Dr. Willie Jolly, was the reason Ford Motor Company. Ford Motor Company rejected the bailout. Remember the bailout Obama did during the bailout time? All of the major car companies, Chrysler and GM, General Motors, took the bailout money. Ford was the only one that rejected it. You know why? Because they called Dr. Willie Jolly to consult with them for 3 years. Dr. Willie Jolly worked with them for 3 years and helped them to a point where they were able to avoid or reject bailout money from the president. And after they rejected the bailout, they started earning $1 billion quarters after that. So, folks, you have to understand capitalism. You got to use your head. Dr. Dennis Kimbrough, I spoke on it earlier. He broke down the word capitalism to, it comes from Latin. The Latin derivative is kaput, which means head. In order for you to do well in a capitalist society, you got to use your head. So you can't be obsolete, folks. If you're not going to do that, you will be obsolete. It's going to wipe you slam on out, and the economy is going to kick you square in your you know what. Don't get mad at me. Y'all not going to delete me, are you? I'm just sharing the information, folks. I didn't make this stuff up. A lot of this has been experienced from myself. I was laid off 5 times in 4 years. As a matter of fact, the last time I was laid off was the day after my mom passed away. Can you imagine losing your mom and have to go to work the next day and hear them tell you, oh, we're so sorry to hear about your mom. By the way, we got to lay you off because we're downsizing. Can you imagine what I went through? That's called resistance. That's called resistance, folks. That's called adversity. That's called a tsunami. Going into homeless and was able to turn my life around a year later, within 6 months after a year. Not telling you this to brag. I'm not telling you this to impress you. I'm telling this to impress upon you that if I can do this, you know what? I'm not going to say if I can do it, you can do it. I'm going to say that if I can do it, you better do it. Because there's nothing holding you back. There's no white man holding you back. There's no white supremacy holding you back. Because why? Because during the days of Martin Luther King, there were 5 black millionaires in this country. Now there are 35,000 black millionaires and 7 black billionaires, with P. Diddy becoming the 7th one just about a month ago. The opportunities are there, folks. You have to pick up a book and you have to read. That's all I got for you this evening. I hope you guys are enjoying. I hope you guys have enjoyed me this evening, and I really truly enjoyed you. And I want to thank you all for coming in. I want to give a quick shout out to those who shared my video from this morning. Denise George, Diane Rozier, Trayon Brown. Thank the 3 of you for sharing the video from this morning. And there's a couple of other folks that always shares, like Nisa Hopper, Sylvia Fleming, Brother Cooper, Antoine Watts, my cousin Donnell Jackson, Lakita Powell, Marie Brown. I want to thank you all for joining and sharing, and when you have shared. And without that being said, I want you to do me one last huge favor, folks, and that is to sing like no one can hear you, dance like no one can see you, love like you've never been hurt, and live like it's heaven on earth. Please share this video, folks. I love you, and the world needs you. So peace and blessings, and stop that damn texting and driving. Take care.